On the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. 50 years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. On first down, Brady. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. A very solid gain of 27.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Yeah. Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
Here's a carry now for Mike Gillislee. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. Got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Brady to throw on second down. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
Partner, I don't care how long he plays. Anytime there's a fumble involving Tom Brady.
You think the Raiders are involved?
You think the Raiders are involved, you think it's snowing, and immediately you hear the words, tuck rule. And now the tuck rule doesn't exist anymore, but that always comes back up with Tom Brady, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, even here, even now. It's caught outright by Graham. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they'll get 14 yards out of it, and if they didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
No gain on the play there, second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board, and a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
Philip Dorsett by himself. He's at the 30, 10, and he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Holding, receiving team.
So hold
Speed, hard to do.
Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing on first down is Brady. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Like 20! Like 20! Like we got!
Brady will try again on 2nd down. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Let's go.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Like 20!
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. They'll run for it. This is White. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
No.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Packers add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And this is incomplete. Gronkowski, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game. The Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, where was it, 1959, 58, 59? That's when the NFL really came into prominence. And it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball. They scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score first with a touchdown, the game's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. I think that's pretty cool. And in our 2 championship games this year, we had overtime in both. Tom Brady and the Patriots won the toss, went downfield, scored a touchdown, ball game. Drew Brees and the Saints won the coin toss. Threw an interception. The Rams.
Gronkowski's going to go. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Rob Gronkowski, 67 yards. And the Patriots are back within a score. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Gronkowski now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that his defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers.
You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either. I
think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A give. This is Montgomery. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Now a run with Montgomery, and he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Well, that throw by Brady, incomplete. Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams won. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And Graham's got it over the middle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's going to be batted down. And will go the other way with the football. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. Line of script. The 37 on 1st and 10.
Wait, 20! Right, 20!
They'll start the drive with a give to White. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first.
Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
The first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Rex Burkhead in the final seconds of the first half. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. Gostkowski for the point after. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So it's halftime. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, look at that. And a second spin. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy at his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, while we have a second here, how about we get bold and make a couple Super Bowl predictions?
Hey, why not? Let's go ahead and put ourselves on the spot.
Just more fodder for the angry people. What do you think? Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the MVP?
Well, my prediction for this one is the New England Patriots win the football game. They win it 32-30. The MVP, the McCourty twins, Jason and Devin. They both get 2 interceptions apiece, and instead of splitting the trophy, they wrestle for it right there in the 50-yard line post-game, because you know sibling rivalries, one always wants the upper hand.
Okay, that's bold. I'll go Rams on a Greg Zuerlein 44-yarder from the right hash as time expires.
44, that's nothing for him.
MVP Todd Gurley, 2 touchdowns, 1 catching, 1 rushing.
I like it.
There you go.
You don't like the McCourty thing, though?
No, I do like that. If that happens, you're Nostradamus.
There you go.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And that's complete to Lewis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurate when he throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments, and right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense back. Backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Brady now on first down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a play fake here on first down. And Matthews has it right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
By 20! By 20!
Into the red zone, it's Brady. As a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, a 16-yard touchdown. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference, defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Brady now to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference, defense.
Gronk, so tough to cover. Sometimes a flag's going to come out.
His size and his ability create a lot of these pass interference calls. If you're trying to go through him to get to the ball, that's almost impossible, and he benefits on the play.
They'll try to run it in with Gillislee. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Mike Gillislee punching it in from a yard away. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery. Fights loose. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
20.
On 1st down, Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And taking it across midfield and inside the 5. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the